Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Bashim. Y'all shout to all the brothers out there. Shalom, y'all. Shamar, Bashim. Y'all shout to the sisters out there. This is ISUPK, Louisiana Sabbath service. Come out of 1 West 125th Street, part of New York, under Commander Junior Hunter. And our job is to educate blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, indigenous to this land about their true heritage. There's these laws, statutes, commandments found in the Holy Bible. Now, where we last was in Genesis, they was talking about Jacob and he can get ready to pass. Where we last stopped off at it. We're gonna go into what he told his sons before he died. With that, we'll say, Elijah just up here. Sharala, that means to Israel. Say Elijah saw her turn face the east. This is prayers. It's the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, and it reads, Abanawa, Shemaya, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Lalakbaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Shah, Barataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamaya, Nathanawa, Lakan, Kayawan, Wasalalak Lanaw, Kabawath Lanaw, Kazalak Nawa, Kabawath Yanaw, Wala'ah, Tabayanawa, Manasa Yawan, Abal, Awashanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala'ala, Wahapatara, La'awalayam, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not. Into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever so be it. These are blessings in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai? Why Mayakala? Why Ha'alyam? Matazabaya? Alawapyahan? Alawapyam? Al-Sarayam? Al-Qadazayam? Ha'akyalakyam? Wa'alawatham? Yahweh, Bashim, Yoshai, the water Amen. In English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, Commander Junior Hunter, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you so be. Bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh Bashim. Yahweh Shai. Barak Lanawa. Waya Sharala. Waya Bayah. Saparium. Barak. Rapa,
Rapa,
Magan,
Magan,
Pagan,
Magan,
Bashim,
Bashim,
Yahushua,
Yahushua,
what I'm
the Water Amen.
in the English. Lord, in the name of Yahushua, bless us and Israel and the school.
Bless us and Israel and the school.
Bless, heal, shield, protect.
Bless, heal, shield, and protect.
In the name of Yahushua,
In the name of Yahushua.
thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
Psalms 121 in Hebrew. Asha,
Asha,
Ayanya,
Mayanya,
Alhariya,
Mabari,
Mahaya,
Mahaya,
Yabaa,
Rabba'a,
Azariah,
Azari,
Azariah,
Azari,
Ma'an,
Mayan,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Asha,
Asha,
Shemaiah,
Shemaiah,
Warataza,
Waratza,
Agathan,
Aratan,
Lamawat,
Lawat,
Regalka,
Mugaka,
Ayanawan,
Adawan,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Hana,
Hana,
La'a,
La'a,
Yanawan,
Yalawan,
Mala'a,
Mala'a,
Yashan,
Rayashan,
Wayamar, Shabamar,
Shabamor,
Yasharala,
Yasharal,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamar,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazaka,
Tazar,
Ayah,
Ada,
Yamyanka,
Nayanka,
Yawaman,
Yagwabon,
Ashamash,
Bashamash,
La'a,
La'a,
Yaka,
Yuka,
Wayara,
Wara,
Malayala,
Balawada,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashmarka,
Makarai,
Makara,
Yashamar,
Yashmor,
Ata,
Ata,
Napashka,
Umpaska,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashmor,
Tazaka,
Tasar,
Wabawaka,
Wawaka,
Mata,
Balga,
Walam.
Wayatulam.
In the English, you read, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills,
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills,
for whence cometh my help?
from which comes my help.
My help coming from the Lord,
My help comes from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
Thou suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He keep thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
he that keep Israel shall slumber or sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not strike thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve our soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve our going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forward
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
This is Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Allahayam,
I was Hayan,
Damayaka,
Dr. Marika,
Thasharash,
Sharash,
Wahas Lashakwat,
Yahal, Wachikwa,
Kayahana,
Kahadana,
Wayabak, Yaka,
Ayabaraka,
Yahama,
Yahal,
Yawan,
Yuan,
Ra'ah,
Ra'a,
Malaka,
Amarka,
Yamwa,
Awaya, Yama,
Sabada,
Sabda,
Wayata,
Wajita,
Atazawa,
Waya Tazara,
Tazapan Yaka,
Tasapon Waka,
Amawa,
Amawa,
Lakawa,
Lakawa,
One Kayadan, Ayadan,
Wakaka, Aladan,
Bagawa,
Lagawa,
Wala'a,
Wala,
Yazaka,
Rasaka,
Sham Yasharala,
Shamda Saram,
Awada,
Awada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawatazawa,
Waka, Tazawa,
Laba'a,
Lava,
Yakawa,
Yakawa,
Yaka,
Yadaka,
Baya,
Baya,
Yaka Rathba,
Kawaka,
Ahaya,
Alhaya,
Adawan,
Alwan,
Wa Yashabai,
Yashima,
Allah,
Allah,
Yan,
Yan,
Ma Wayaba,
Wayaba,
Wahagario,
Waganya,
Babal,
Wow,
Wa Amawan,
Amwan,
Wa Amala,
Amla,
Halasha,
Hausa,
Yabanya,
Amlam Bayan,
Tazawa,
Tazawa,
Gambashawa,
Nashua,
Nalawa,
Nawa,
Aman,
Ama,
Ayawa,
Awa,
Zerawa,
Zawa,
Labanya Walawa,
Bamwa,
Salah,
Salat,
Asha Laham,
Aksha, Yahan,
Kama Yan,
Kamayan,
Kazaya Sarah,
Kaya Surat,
Kayab Yan,
Kayayan,
Banakal,
Bankal,
Pawaswan,
Washwan,
Nasamawa,
Nashmawa,
Bayan Dara,
Bayan Dara,
Ayawa,
Aywa,
Daman,
Dama,
Lahadama,
Adama,
Shayatama,
Sadama,
Nada Yamawa,
Nagada, Mawa,
Kara,
Kawa,
Wakazaba,
Wakasaba,
Wakazabak,
Wakasaba,
Wakazamana,
Watasamana,
Kanasayat Mawa,
Kasa, Tunak Mawa,
Asha,
Asha,
Amawa,
Amawa,
Nayarasha,
Naya Sasha,
Nanawa,
Nawa,
Ata,
Ata,
Naawa,
Nawa,
Ahalayan,
Ahadana,
Ahalaya,
Ahadiya,
Shayatamawa,
Sayatama,
Kagaga,
Kaka,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya Waka,
Panya Wakwa,
Ka'a,
Ka'a,
Tabara Yara,
Gabaya Yam,
Wakalabahaba,
Waka Habala,
Talahat,
Galahat,
Hayan,
Habiyan,
Khan,
Khan,
Devadama,
Ganakama,
Basar Arika,
Basa Araka,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapataka,
Wakataka,
Abahalam,
Gabahalam,
Mala,
Mala,
Payaham,
Kayhan,
Lawan,
Kalawan,
Wayabakwaswa,
Wakaswa,
Shamka,
Shankara,
Yahweh,
Yahau,
Shabashwa,
Subaswa,
Wayabahawa,
Wayabahawa,
Ayai,
Ayahau,
Wayakaparawa,
Wayakapara,
Wayahabawa,
Wayahabawa,
Wayadawa,
Wayadawa,
Kayata,
Kayata,
Shamka,
Suka,
Yahweh,
Yahau,
Labaka,
Labaka,
Ayawan,
Ayawan,
El Kayaharagasa.
Ayakaharaza.
In the English read, keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep thou thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace.
and be not still, O
Be
God.
not still, O God.
For lo,
Lo,
thy enemies make a tumult,
thy enemy make a tumble.
and they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
They that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against our people,
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
and consulted against our hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
come,
come,
let us cut them off of being a nation,
let us cut them off from being a nation.
that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
The name of Israel shall be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee,
They are confederate against thee.
the tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of Edom
and the Israelites,
and the Israelites,
of Moab,
the Moab
and the Hagarenes,
and the Agarenes,
Gebal,
Gabal
and Ammon,
and Ammon
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assure also is joined with them.
The Syrians also joined with them.
They are hoping the children of Lot.
They are hoping cheering a lot.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites,
Do unto them as unto the Mennonites,
as to Sisera,
and to
as to
Sisera,
Japan,
and to Japan,
at the brook of Kison,
at the book of Kison,
which perished at Endor.
prepares to Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a rib,
Make the nobles like a rib,
and like Zeed,
and like Zahid,
yea,
yea,
all the princes of Zabah,
all the princes of Sabbath,
and as Zamuna,
as of Sabunga,
who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the house of God in possession.
the house of God in possession.
Oh my God,
Oh my God,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a well,
as a stubble before the wind,
and a stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth a wood,
and the fire burnt the wood,
and as the flames set the mountains on fire,
and the flames of the mountains on fire.
so persecute them with thy tempest,
To persecute them without the temper,
and make them afraid with thy storm.
make them afraid without the storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
but they may seek thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord,
let them be confounded in trouble
let them be confined to the trouble
forever.
forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to
and
shame
perish,
and perish.
that men may know that thou,
That men may know that thou,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
art the most high over all the earth.
of the most high of all the earth.
Okay, we see, got my mother, he's got a Akashka power. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bashir,
Bashim,
Yahushai,
Yahweh Shah,
Bamakashah,
Amshah,
Napalanawa,
Lamanawa,
Akash,
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 Makash,
Larapah,
Lavapah,
Kamakala,
Kamakala,
Wakamawa,
Lakamaria,
Akash,
Lakash,
Lataha,
Lataha,
Matazariam,
Matazari,
Akash,
Akash,
Lahakwariam,
Lahakukari,
Hamathya,
Hamathi,
Akash,
Akash,
Yorawak, Zlaki, Yorawak, Kathwa,
Yorwakatwa,
Hamatamala,
Hamatamala,
Lagarsham,
Lagash,
Bashir,
Bashim,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahushua,
the water man.
the water amen.
In English, Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh in the name of Yahushua.
Please give us the power.
Please give us
The power to heal
the power to heal
all manner of sickness
for all manner of sickness
and all manner of disease.
and all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to clean
The power to raise the dead.
the power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
Seated. Yeah, like we was going on last time we talked, you know, they had the Israel Hebrews that went into Egypt, you know. Joseph had sent for his whole family, and his whole family came over to live in Goshen, in the land of Goshen. And now time done passed, and now Jacob finna tell his sons, you know, what's gonna be father. Let's see here. What Genesis 40 started Genesis 47 and 23. I mean 27. It's like 27. And it reads, and Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, in the country of Goshen. And they had possession therein, and grew and multiplied exceedingly. Verse 28. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. So the whole age of Jacob was 147 years. And the time drew nigh that Israel must die. And he called his son, Joseph, and said unto him, if now I have found grace in thy sight, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and deal kindly and truly with me. Bury me not, I pray thee, in Egypt. So Israel telling this son Joseph, hey, I want to get I don't want to when I die, I want to be buried in Egypt. You know, my grandfather had land, you know, for a burial place. Take me there. Mm-hmm. He said, but you know, verse 30. But I will lie with my fathers, and thou shalt carry me out of Egypt, and bury me in their burial place. And he said, I will do as thou hast said. And he said, swear unto me. And he swore unto him, and Israel bowed himself upon the bed. So, you know, he don't want to be buried with those heathens buried. He want to go where his forefathers are buried in. You know, like in these days, we ain't got no luxury of being unless you have real good insurance, you ain't gonna get buried where you want to be buried. You know, it ain't like you know go out in the backyard and have a cemetery back there. That's against the law. You know, there's a lot of things, you know, they did back then that, you know, like let's just say something my family member of mine, you know, Christian, asked me, do y'all follow the Bible? Do y'all do animal sacrifices? And I had to tell her, can you hit a dog these days? You can't even hit a dog or even yell at the dog without, you know, being, you know, getting cited for cruelty to animals. So what makes you think we're gonna get out there and have our butt thrown in jail trying to do an animal sacrifice? This is not our race. We can't, things we was able to do in Israel, we can't do over here because this is not our land. You know, it's a lot of things that's against us. No, this is not our land. This is not our race. Now I'm gonna go into chapter 48. It said, and it reads, and it came to pass after these things that one told Joseph, behold, thy father is sick. And he took with him his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And one told Joseph and said, behold, thy son Joseph. One told Jacob and said, behold, thy son Joseph come unto thee. And Israel strengthened himself and sat on the bed. No, even though Jacob was weak and everything, he strengthened himself on the bed to talk to his son. Mm-hmm. And verse 3, and Jacob said to Joseph, God Almighty appeared to me and Luz in the land of Canaan and blessed me. You know, that's when Remember when he was wrestling with that angel? You know, that's like he wrestled that angel so hard that angel had to knock his hip bone out of place just to let him go. Said, I ain't gonna stop it till you bless me. And that's how he got his blessing there. And he said, and he said unto me, behold, I will make thee fruitful and multiply thee, and I will make thee a multitude of people, and will give this land to thy seed after thee for the everlasting possession. Let's think about let's say you got the conscious community always talking about the land we was in and try to connect it with the Egyptians. Like I said, we copy everything we got. We copy from the Egyptians. When it actually, as you read here, Joseph taught the Egyptians. So the house of Christ could take that and go somewhere with it. Joseph was a Hebrew. Was over there and he made sure they lived, because it hadn't been for Joseph, Egypt would have starved. That whole area would have starved if it hadn't been for Joseph. In verse 5, and now thy two sons Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee in the land of Egypt, before I came unto thee into Egypt, are mine. As Reuben and Simeon, they shall be mine. Like his grandsons, he making them just like his sons instead of his grandsons. So he adding them all with the other tribes. And we see verse 6, and thy issue which thou begettest after them shall be thine, and shall be called after the name of their brethren in their inheritance. 7, and as for me, when I came from Padan, Rachel died by me in the land of Canaan, in the way, when yet there was but a little way to come unto Ephraim, and I buried her there in the way of Ephraim, the same as Bethlehem. And see, that's the same era. If you're reading it, that's the same era where Christ was born in Bethlehem. In verse 8, and Israel beheld Joseph's son and said, who are these? And Joseph said unto his father, they are my sons, whom God hath given me in this place. And he said, bring them, I pray thee, unto me, and I will bless them. Now the eyes of Israel were dim for age, so that he could not see. And he brought them near unto him, and he kissed them and he embraced them. So now he could bless, Ephraim and Manasseh. He giving all, even his grandchildren blessings. And Israel said unto Joseph, I had not thought to see thy face, and lo, God has showed me also thy seed. See, Israel didn't think he was ever see Joseph again, but he was blessed to see Joseph, and Joseph had children, so he able to see his grandchildren. And Joseph brought them out from between his knees, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth, and verse 10, and took them both, Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand toward Israel right hand, and brought them near to him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hand wittingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, God, before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac did walk, the God which fed me all the day, all my life long unto this day, the angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads and let my name be named on them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. So Jacob put Manasseh here. Put Manasseh here and Ephraim here. Read on, like say, and when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him. So he had Manasseh here and Ephraim. He did this instead of doing this. Blessing, give the blessing to Manasseh. He did this and gave it to Ephraim.
And when Joseph saw this, that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it pleased him. And he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head unto Manasseh's head. And Joseph said unto his father, Not so, father, for this is the firstborn. Put thy right hand upon his head. And his father refused and said, I know it, my son. I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations. And he blessed them that day, saying, In these shall Israel bless, saying, God make thee as Ephraim and as Manasseh. And he said, Ephraim for Manasseh. And Israel said unto Joseph, Behold, I die, but God shall be with you and bring you again unto the land of your fathers. Moreover, I have given to thee one portion above thy brethren, which I took out of the hand of the Amorite with my sword and with my bow. Well, it must be something about the younger brother, because they seem like they always getting a blessing, but over the older brother, just like with Esau and Jacob, or go back even farther, even like Ishmael and Isaac. See, the promise was to Isaac and to that seed on down. You know, a lot of people like to say, Jacob stole the birthright. He didn't steal it. It was promised to him anyway. You know, just like the Most High told his mama Rebecca. You know, 2 nations of people in our womb. You know. He said Esau is the beginning of the world, and Jacob the one that comes after. You know. Let's see. In verse chapter 49, and Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which may befall you in the last days. So, he can tell his sons, hey, what's gonna happen to them, give them their blessings and tell them what's gonna be happening. You're gonna give them the law, statutes, commandments like he was given. Same stories his father told him that was passed down from Abraham. He's going to pass it down to his sons. Verse 2: Gather yourselves together and hear, you sons of Jacob, and hearken unto your Israel, your father. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and the excellency of power. Unstable as water. Thou shalt not excel, because thou went up to thy father's bed, then the father's David, he went up to my couch. Now, what he mean by that, he slept with Bilhah, his wife. Leah's handmaid. He slept with he went behind his father's back and slept with his wife. So he was gonna be the leader of the tribes. But he lost his spot right there. He told him, you're not going to excel. So he got knocked out the way for going behind his father's back, sleeping with his wife. And that was in Genesis. I think that was 34. Genesis 34. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of fruit are in their habitations. O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto the assembly, my honor. Be not thou united, for in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. I said, what they did, their sister Dinah was raped by this guy named Shechem. And he wanted to marry her, but he was a heathen. And so, Jacob, he was like holding his peace about it. He didn't get angry like that, but the brothers were. So Simon and Levi, it's like, but Shechem and his father Haman went to Jacob and said, we'll get circumcised and all that. And so they got, when they to make peace with them, but the brother was like, no, they ain't, they don't defile our sister. No, they ain't happy. So when they Shechem and the rest of their city,
circumcised themselves, and they were so. Simeon and Levi went in and killed all of them, and the rest of the brothers went and killed all of them. The whole tribe. They went and killed them. And so that's why, and Jacob found out about it. He told him, hey, y'all done made me stink among all the rest of the population. You gave me a bad name.
Mhm. So that's why, say they cruel, because they didn't get permission from their father to do that. They did it all on their own. That's what say, they cruel. Mhm. And now, and the thing about Levi, they trying to get into the country now, but things done changed so much that you can't even come into this country now if you ain't, say like you got to be a terrorist to get over here now. It's a Judah, thou art whom thy brother shall praise. Now Judah was the fourth born. Now he done jumped all the way to first. Reuben messed up his blessing. Simon and Levi messed up blessing. So they left Judah. Judah became the leader of the 12 tribes because he wanted to stay behind when Joseph told him when to get their brother was to get Benjamin. So he said he'll stay behind and let them go back, and get Benjamin. So he stood up, so that's how he got his spot. So Judah, thou art whom thy brother shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. Yeah. He said his hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies, but just too bad. Sometimes our enemies be our own brothers, Mm-hmm. And thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. It's a whelp is a cub, a lion cub. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He crouched as a lion, and as an old lion. Who shall rouse him up? Who gonna rouse Judah up to get him start following these laws, statutes, commandments, and let the other tribes see Judah doing it, and they'll follow Judah. So just like we come up with anything, the rest of the tribes do it too. In the style we come up with, the other tribes do it too. So we start following these laws, statutes, commandments. These other tribes, we can get, Christ will come on back and we can get up out of here and get back to our own homeland. Mm-hmm. Verse 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall be the gatherer of the people be. Binding his the Shiloh, that's Yahushua, Mashiach, Yahushua, Mashiach, who the world calls Jesus Christ. Christ came out the line of Judah. Mm-hmm. He said, binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass's coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. That's Christ right there. He said, Christ loved that wine. He drank that wine, eyes were red, eyes were red with wine. So they talk about Christ right there. So they talked about, go ahead.
You can't, was the Prince of Peace, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When
he was chosen, he was just Shiloh. He was
Shiloh.
Prince of Peace, right?
No, they think about Melchizedek.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. But Shiloh,
Melchizedek, that was a appearance of Christ too. Melchizedek.
Okay.
Just like Adam, he was the first Christ. Like I said, Christ made a few appearances, but he finally got it right. When he was born through Joseph, they finally got it right because he was, showing everybody how to follow the law, statutes, commandments.
In Zebulun, verse 13, Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for a haven of ships, and his water shall be unto Zidon.
So Zebulun will be a seaport. We're gonna, that's why he got his little symbol is the ship. And he gonna have a seaport. Verse 4.
Verse 14, Issachar is a strong ass crouching down between two burdens. And he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulders to bear, and became a servant unto tribute.
Now, you got to look at Issachar. Y'all know you seeing how they being bused from Texas over to the East Coast. Now, this is crazy thing about it. Mexico on from Texas, that was all Mexico, from Texas all the way to California. So they ain't doing nothing but getting off at their own home spot. But the U.S. due to the Mexico-U.S. war, they took that land from them, and then they went down to Mexico, ripped up all their economics. And now now you got it started way back with Clinton doing what they call it, the immigration laws, and then Obama did the same thing, and now you got it's bad enough to see Issachar call them wetback sticks. They taking our jobs. They ain't taking no jobs. They ain't taking our jobs, and now it's bad enough they got the burden of dealing with the oppressors. The other burden is dealing with the other Ishmaelites over here. They got their green card or whatever, got citizenship. They siding with. Did you know there was a lot of Ishmaelites voted for Trump? They didn't want them coming over here. They said making it bad, making us look bad. They got Issachar got to worry about his own brothers going against him, just like the oppressor goes against him. So that's his two birds right there. He said, Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, and an adder in his path that biteth the horse's heel, so that his rider shall fall backwards. So Dan was going to be a judge. He had judges in Israel that judge the people, but Dan turned out to be a wicked judge. That's what it said. There's gonna be an adder about a snake by the way, a serpent by the way. He's gonna be a dishonest, honest judge. Let the punish the innocent, let the guilty go free. Verse 18 said, "I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord." Israel telling me waiting for Dan to get right. And verse 19, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. So the United States Army, took care of Gad, took all their land, put them off some reservations and everything, but mostly killed a lot of them and broke every treaty they ever made. I think they made about 180 something, or probably more than that. But every treaty they ever made with the tribe of Gad, they broke it. They said this. I said, listen, the truth will overcome me, but Gad will overcome him at the end. Let me see. Verse 20. Out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield raw dainties. He said Asher will have plenty of food where he at. He said he shall yield raw dainties, and then they got a lot of resources where Asher at. They have oil and everything down in South America. They have oil where Asher's at. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He give a good word. A hind is a deer. That's why his symbol is a deer. He say, but he quick to help his brothers off in a fight. When he give goodly words unto his brothers. So, verse 22, Joseph is a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow by a well, whose branches run over the wall. So he talked about Ephraim. So Ephraim gonna have lots of children. Ephraim and Manasseh, they're gonna have lots of children. He said that's why Joseph said a fruitful bow. The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him. Verse 24. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. From this is the shepherd, the stone of Israel, even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that lie under, blessings of the breast and of the womb. So it'll tell you right there, blessings of the breast and of the womb. So they're gonna have plenty of children.
They're gonna be fruit. They're gonna really be fruitful and multiply. The blessings of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors unto the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brother. So Joseph got that double portion that Israel was talking about. He gave him, instead of giving him one blessing, he gave him two. So he had two sons. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. So Benjamin gonna he gonna be violent also. But he's an outstanding warrior. In the morning he should abide or pray, and at night he should divide the spoil. So he's gonna bring what he has, made in, and bring it home and divide it among the family. That's what Benjamin gonna do. But like I said, he's gonna be raven as a wolf. And he's gonna get out there and get the spoil, violent if he have to be, but he's gonna get it. Verse 28, all these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is it that their father spake unto them and blessed them, everyone according to his blessing. He blessed them. Verse 29, and he charged them and said unto them, I am to be gathered unto my people. Bury me with my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Ephraim the Hittite, in the cave that is in the field of Machpelah, which is before Mamre, in the land of Canaan, which Abraham bought with the field of Ephraim the Hittite for a possession of a barren place. There they buried Abraham and Sarah his wife. There they buried Isaac and Rebekah his wife, and there I buried Leah. The purchase of the field and of the cave that is therein was from the children of Heth. And when Jacob had made an end of commanding his sons, he gathered up his feet into the bed and yielded up the ghost, and was gathered unto his people. So Jacob went on, died. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he went on, died, but we went on, bless the son, let him know the good and bad of him. Verse 50. And Joseph fell upon his father's face and wept upon him and kissed him. And Joseph commanded his servants, the physicians, to embalm his father, and the physicians embalmed Israel. And 40 days were fulfilled for him, for so are fulfilled the days of those which are embalmed. And the Egyptians mourned for him 70 days. And when the days of his mourning were past, Joseph spake unto the house of Pharaoh, saying, if I have found grace in your eyes, speak, I pray you, in the ears of Pharaoh, saying, my father made me swear, saying, lo, I die in my grave, which I have digged for me in the land of Canaan. There shalt thou bury me. Now therefore let me go up, I pray thee, and bury my father, and I will come again. And Pharaoh said, go up and bury thy father, according as he had made thee swear. That's Joseph keeping that promise to his father to not bury him in Egypt, to bury him in Canaan. So Joseph went up to bury his father, and with him went up all the servants of Pharaoh, the elders of his house, and all the elders of the land of Egypt, and all the house of Joseph and his brethren and his father's house. Only their little ones and their flocks and their herds they left in the land of Goshen. And there went up with him both chariots and horsemen. It was a very great company. So he had a big old funeral procession. They sent him away good. And they came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond Jordan. And there they mourned with a great and very sore lamentation. And he made a mourning for his father 7 days. And when the inhabitants of the land of Canaanites saw the mourning in the floor of Atad, they said, this is a grievous mourning to the Egyptians. Wherefore the name of it was called Mizraim, above Mizraim, which is beyond Jordan. And his sons did unto him according as he commanded them. For his sons carried him into the land of Canaan and buried him in the cave of the field of Machpelah, which Abraham bought with a field for a possession of a burying place of Ephraim Hittite before Mamre. And Joseph returned into Egypt, he and his brethren, and all that went up with with him to bury his father, after he had buried his father. And when Joseph's brethren saw that their father was dead, they said, Joseph will peradventure hate us and will certainly requite us all the evil which we did him. So now they worried. They worried now. They were thinking, Joseph wants to pay back since their father did. They're gonna want all the stuff, how they did him, sold him, grabbed him, talked mean to him, sold him into slavery. And they said he gonna want some payback. He gonna want some kind of payback now that his father they ain't there, and now he can punish them. But and they sent a messenger unto Joseph, saying, thy father did command before he died, saying, so shall ye say unto Joseph, forgive, I pray thee now, the trespass of thy brethren and their sin, for they did unto thee evil. And now we pray thee, forgive the trespass of the servants of the God thy father. And Joseph wept when they spake unto him. And his brethren also went and fell down before his face, and they said, behold, we be thy servants. And Joseph said unto them, fear not, for I am in the place of God. So he said, man, y'all ain't got to do all that. So I forgive you. He said, I walk with God, I forgive all, forgive your trespasses against me. But as for you, you thought evil against me, but God meant it into good to bring to pass as this day to save much people alive. So he said, if y'all had to deal with, so that was the God's plan all together for y'all to do what y'all did, so God can show his work through me. But they think, hey, he gonna, they think he gonna do something to him now that their father gone. And you're like, no, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that to you. Now therefore, fear ye not, I will nourish you and your little ones. And he comforted them and spake kindly unto them. And Joseph dwelt in Egypt, he and his father's house. And Joseph lived 110 years. And Joseph saw Ephraim's children of the third generation. The children also of Machir, the son of Manasseh, were brought up upon Joseph's knees. And Joseph was able to even see his great-grandchildren. His great-grandchildren, he probably was old, old himself when it started happening. He said, and Joseph said unto his brother, I die, and God will surely visit you and bring you out of this land unto the land which he sware to Abraham and to Isaac and to Jacob. And Joseph took an oath of the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones from hence. So Joseph died being 110 years old, and they embalmed him, and he was put in the coffin in Egypt. Before we go any further, go to let's see here. We go to Genesis 15 and 13. And it reads, and he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterwards shall they come out with a great substance. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. So that's what he was telling Abraham was going to befall, the children of Israel. So now, they're in Egypt. This is the land that they're in that's not theirs. So start at Exodus chapter 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls. For Joseph was in Egypt already. And Joseph died, and all his brethren. and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceedingly mighty, and the land was filled with them. And see the children of Israel, they got up there in Goshen, had big families, had plenty of cattle and all that. So they doing good, they over here, Egyptians over there, But this is what's gonna happen, Now there rose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Verse 11. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh certain cities, Pithom and Ramses. So they said they built, put taskmasters over. They put their own people over. Their own people in their mind being over there putting whip on their back. This is slavery that went on for 400 years, and then it repeated itself with the Judah and the Benjamites, back in what was that, the 1600s? Yeah, about the 1600s. About the 1600s, where they transatlantic slave trade. Well, it probably happened before then, because I know when the French came over here, or the Spanish came over here, they sent the Taino or Indians over there back to Spain to be slaves. So that happened, a long time ago. Just the transatlantic slave trade just got, was the biggest one. So verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. So no matter what they did to them, they still didn't stop growing. They still didn't stop multiplying. And they thought they was gonna have them all down and wiped out. They still had children, kept getting still flourishing. Mm-hmm. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they worked them like as saying God, Hebrew slave. Worked them hard, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service, wherein they made them serve, was with rigor. So they worked them hard, long and hard, long and hard. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwife, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, see them upon the stools. If it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. So the king done put out, if they have a boy, kill it. If they have a girl, they live. So you can just imagine, what's going on with the Hebrews, trying to keep their children safe, probably having a boy with praying to have a girl for it to live. Mm-hmm. It says, but the midwives feared God and did not as the king of Egypt commanded, but saved the men children alive. This thing about it, when you have a fear of God, you're gonna follow his laws. That was like the first abortion. Yeah, right there. That was your first abortion right there. That was your first abortion. And they said, no, they ain't doing that. They ain't going against my God for you. And therefore God dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mightily. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared God, that he made them houses. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter you shall save alive. chapter 2. And there went a man of the house of Levi and took a wife, a daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived and bare a son. And when she saw him, that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. And when she could not longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes, and daubed it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein, and she laid it in the flags by the river's brink. And his sister stood afar off to wit what would be done to him. So his mother, so the baby mother, she trying to make sure that her son don't get killed. So she sent him down the river and had his sister watch and see what happened to him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river. And her maidens walked along by the riverside. And when she saw the ark among the flags, sent her maid to fetch it. And when she had opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the babe wept. And she had compassion on him, and said, "This is one of the Hebrews' children." Then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and call to thee a nurse of the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for thee?" So the sisters, was already right there. No child gonna need to be a nurse. So she take it home back to her mama, and he can nurse. So a lot of people see, we watch that movie 10 Commandments, instead of reading Exodus, they go off the movie. Which you already know this is somebody else's idea. They're gonna they're not gonna do it step for step. They're gonna add in what they think. And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Go." And the maid went and called the child's mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, "Take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages." And the woman took the child and nursed it. And the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name Moses. And she said, "Because I drew him out of the water." And it came to pass in those days, when Moses was grown, he went out unto his brother and looked on their burdens, and he spied an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew, one of his brethren. And he looked, and this is another thing when you watch that movie, 10 Commandments, they had like Moses didn't know he was Egyptian. He born Egyptian. The only thing he knew was Egyptian. So that's the movie. And it says right here, he knew who he was. He knew who he was growing up because his mama nursed him. So he knew he was a Hebrew. But you watch that movie like a lot of people do. Instead of wanting to read, they want to get their information from watching a movie. So watch that movie and go off what that movie said. And Moses thought he was Egyptian. Didn't know nothing about he was a Hebrew until he got grown. And then you read him, that he knew who he was. And he spied an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew, one of his brethren. And he looked this way and that way. And he saw that there was no man. He slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sun. So Moses saw Egyptian hitting the Hebrew. He looked this way. He looked that way. Ain't nobody watching me. Ain't nobody seeing me. So he took the Egyptian out, killed him and buried him in the sand. And when he went out the second day, behold, 2 men of the Hebrews strolled together. And he said to him that did the wrong, "Wherefore spitest thou thy fellow?" And verse 14, he said, "Who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Intendest thou to kill me as thou killest the Egyptian?" And Moses feared and said, "Surely this thing is done." Now when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses. But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian and sat down by a well. I said, okay, Moses done Pharaoh don't find out Moses killed the Egyptian, which is against the law. Egyptian should not kill another Egyptian. So he took off. And now the priests of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away, but Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flocks. And when they came to Reuel their father, he said, "How is it that ye are come so soon today?" And they said, And the Egyptians delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us and watered the flock. And he said unto his daughters, and where is he? Why is it that ye have left the man? Call him that he may eat bread. And Moses was content to dwell with the man, and he gave Moses Zipporah, his daughter, and she bare him a son, and he called his name Gershom. For he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. And it came to pass in the process of time that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage. And they cried, and the cry came up unto God by reason of the bondage. And God heard their groan. Then God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God had respect unto them. They children of Israel, starting to get right now. Start beg God to get us out of this bondage. They crying. They've been in the bondage a long time, and they're ready to get out. They know if they cry to God, he was saying to them. They know about the covenant he made with their forefathers. And they are crying to be released. That's gonna be the end for that. We're gonna start on Moses. Say Elijah. It's up here. Rashala, it means to Israel. Yes, to the prayers. Yeah. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Wadash. Ayah. Shakah. Yahweh. Malakaka. Taba'ah. Batazaka. Ayah. Shah. Baratazah. Kawah. Ayah. Bashamayim. Latham Lanawa. Lakam. Kayawan. Wasalat Lanawa. Kabawah Nawa. Kasalat Nawa. Kabawah Yanawa. Wala'ah. Tabaya Anawa. Banasayawan. Ba. Hawashanawa. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Wahala. Wahatapara. Wa'awalayam. Aman. In English. Our Father which art in heaven.
Our Father which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh thy kingdom come.
Yahweh thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
In earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
Give us our debt
As we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
Lead us not
into temptation.
into
But
temptation,
deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the
For
kingdom,
thine is the kingdom,
the power,
the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever so be it.
forever. So be it.
This is Akash, power, Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahushai,
Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahushua,
Baba Kosha,
Baruchah,
Lathan Lanawa,
Adonai,
Akash,
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 Zarapah,
Baruchah,
Kamakalaya,
Kamakulau,
Wakamawa,
Kamawa,
Akash,
Akash,
Nataha,
Akash,
Natazarayim,
Basurai,
Akash,
Akash,
Lahakwayam,
Lahakumon,
Hamathayam,
Hawamatani,
Akash,
Akash,
El Rakah,
Akash,
Mata Allah,
Nakala,
Lagarsa,
Lufash,
Ba'ashim,
Bashim,
Yahushai,
Yahushua,
Kabbalah Aman.
Wow, amen.
In English. Yahweh in the name of Yahushai.
Yahweh in the name of Yahushua.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power
The power to heal all manner of sickness.
Power to heal all manner of sickness.
and all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to clean the leper.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the
The
dead.
power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out in the name of Yahweh.
Cast them out in the name of your house, child.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
These are the blessings in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah y'all how?
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Why do your house shine?
Wa Mayaka'ala.
Why not not God?
Wa Ha'alayo.
Why how alarm you?
Matazabah.
My touch is locked.
Alawap Yahan.
Oh, not one.
Ha'alawap Yan.
I will lock one.
Asaran Yan.
That's not one.
Ha'patazayan Yan.
That's out to our young.
Ha'ap Yaya Yan.
How up your alarm one.
Ha'apawat Yan.
How walk.
Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai.
You have a machine your house.
The water Aman.
The water, amen.
The English. Bless you, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai.
Bless your house and your house shine.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
The men of Junior Hannah.
Mount Junior Honey.
The generals.
The general.
The captains.
The captain.
The officers.
The officers.
Troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai.
The house in the name of your house shine.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
Bless Israel. In Hebrew. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai.
How about Shem and outside?
Barak Lanah.
Walk without.
Wa Yasharal.
Why y'all surround?
Wa Harbaya.
Why have I got?
Saparium.
Fire.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapah.
Paul.
Badan.
Again.
Badan.
Again.
Ba'ashim.
That's it.
Yahweh Shai.
Your house shine.
Water Aman.
I'm not the water.
In English. Lord, in the name of Jesus, bless us
Lord, in the name of Jesus, bless us.
and Israel
And Israel.
and the school.
And the school.
Bless, heal, shield, protect.
Bless, heal, shield, and protect.
In the name of Jesus,
In the name of Jesus.
thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
Psalms 121 in Hebrew.
Hebrew.
Asha,
Outside.
Ayayan,
I got you.
Elhayan,
I got you.
Mahayan,
I got
Yab'ah,
you.
Azariah,
Sorry.
Azariah,
Sorry.
Ma'am,
I am.
Yahweh,
The house.
Asha,
Shut.
Shamayan,
Shalom.
Wa'arataza,
Why I process.
Yathan,
I am.
Lamawat, Yagalka, Yanawan, Shamarka, Anah, La'ah, Yanawan, La'ah, Yadashana, Shawamah, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Zalka, Yah, Yamyanka, Yawaman, Ashamash, La'ah, Yagalka, Wayarash, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makarai, Yashamar, Ata, Yapaska, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'afka, Wabawaka, Ma'ata, Wa'awalam. In the English, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
Which comes my help?
My help coming from the Lord,
My help comes from the Lord.
which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
Not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
No,
he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
you that keep the Israel shall not slumber or sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not spike thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee
The Lord shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth,
from this time
and even
forth
forevermore.
to be forevermore.
This is Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Allahayam, Yalaka, Al Thasharash, Mahal Thashakwat, Al Kayahana, Awa Yaka, Yahama, Yawan, Ra'ash, Il Amaka, Ya'ara Yawa, Sabada, Thaya Tazawa, Il Tazapawa Yaka, Hamawa, Makawa, Manakata Ayadam, Magawya, Wala'a, Nazaka,
Sham Yasharala,
Sham Yasharala,
Awada,
Awada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawatazawa,
Wadi Tazawa,
Laba,
Laban,
Yakawa,
Kawa,
Ayaka,
Mayaka,
Waya,
Maya,
Yakar, Karathwa,
Yakakwa,
Ahalaya,
Alhara,
Adawan,
Alwan,
Wa Yashamana Wala,
Washimara,
Yam,
Yam,
Mawaba,
Wababa,
Waharaya,
Wadahaka,
Gabal,
Ba,
Wa Amawan,
Wadaba,
Wa Amala,
Wahamala,
Palasha,
Wabsha,
Yoma Yasha Yabya,
Washayara,
Tazawa,
Tazawa,
Yamashawa,
Washwa,
Dalawa,
Lawa,
Aman,
Ama,
Hayawa,
Ayawa,
Zarawa,
Lawa,
Labanya Lawa,
Labanya, Wa,
Salah,
Salam,
Asha,
Asha,
Laham,
Laham,
Kamaya,
Lawan,
Kasaya Sarah,
Kajaswa,
Labanya Lawa,
Labanya, Wa,
Salah,
Salam,
Asha Laham,
Asha,
Kamaya, Kasaya Sarah,
Kajaswa,
Kayabaya,
Kajabaya,
Banakal,
Banaka,
Parwashwan,
Ashwa,
Nashamawa,
Ashamawa,
Bayan Dara,
Banana,
Hayawa,
Hadiwa,
Daman,
Dama,
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 Shayatamwa,
Shadama,
Nadaja Mawa,
Ladanya, Mawa,
Karaba,
Kaba,
Wakazaaba,
Wakasaba,
Wakazabak,
Wakasaba,
Wakatazmana,
Wakasmana,
Karnasayak Mawa,
Kanas Makwa,
Asha,
Asa,
Selaki, Asha,
Asa,
Amawa,
Amwa,
Nayashara,
Nayaswa,
Lanawa,
Nawa,
Lata,
Lata,
Naawa,
Nawa,
Alahayam, Alahaya,
Alahan,
Shayatamwa,
Kamshan,
Kagagaza,
Kugan,
Kakwash,
Kawas,
Lapanya Makaf,
Lakamba, Kawa,
Ka'a,
Kaa,
Tabariyawa,
Tabara, Yaawa,
Wakalabahaba,
Waka Ababa,
Talahat,
Danaha,
Aryam,
Ayam,
Kam,
Kam,
Tabadama,
Dajatma,
Basaraka,
Dasa Suraka,
Wabasa, Wapafka,
Waka Sapa, Kawaka,
Tabahalam,
Dajatma, Dala,
Panyaham,
Madhan,
Palawan,
Alwan,
Wayabakwashwa,
Maya Bakwashwa,
Shaka,
Saka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Shabashwa,
Subasha,
Wayabahawa,
Maya Subahawa,
Ayai,
Yaya,
Wayakapawa,
Wajikawa,
Wayabawa,
Waya Bawa,
Wayadawa,
Waya Dawa,
Kayata,
Kayata,
Shaka,
Shika,
Yahawa,
Yahaw,
Labaka,
Labaka,
Ayawan,
Ayawan,
Al-Kaharataz.
Wajikawa Tas.
And the English read, keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God.
Be thou still, O God.
For lo,
The Lord,
thy enemies make a tumult.
thy enemy make a tumble.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against our people.
They have taken counsel against our people.
And have sold against our hidden
And
ones.
so against our head.
They have said,
They have said,
come,
come,
and let us cut them off of being a
and let
nation.
us cut them off to be a nation.
And the name of Israel shall be no more in remembrance. For they have sold together with one consent.
They have sold together 1%.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom,
Tabernacles of Edom,
and the Israelites,
and the Israelites,
of Moab,
and Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Baal,
the Baal,
and Ammon,
Ammon,
and Amalek.
and Amalek.
The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Perhaps of Tyre,
Ashur is also joined with them.
should I was joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They that hope in the children.
Do unto them as unto the
Do
Mennonites.
unto them as unto the Mennonites.
As to Sisera,
As to Sisera,
as to Jabarian,
as to
and the
Jabin,
brick of Kisan,
the breath of the sun,
was passed to Endor.
past the end of
They
it.
became as dung for the earth.
They had gone to the earth.
Make their nobles like a rib,
Make the nobles like a wheel,
and like Zee.
like the sea.
Yea,
Yea,
all the princes of Zabah,
all the princes of Jabal,
and as Zamuna,
as Samunda,
who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of God in possession.
the house of God in possession.
Oh my God,
Oh my God.
make them like a wheel,
Make them like a wheel.
as a stubble for the wind,
As the stubble for the
as the fire burns the wood,
fire on the wood.
and as the flame set the mountains on fire.
As the flames of the mountains on
So
fire.
persecute them with thy tempest,
Persecute them with thy tempest.
and make them afraid with thy storm.
And make them afraid with thy thy son.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord,
let them be confounded in trouble
let them be found in trouble
forever.
forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish.
that men they may know that thou,
That men they know that thou,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
are the most high over all the earth.
are the most high over all the earth.
These curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Bless you, you the Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven
and all things living.
and all things living.
Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh in the name of Yahweh.
Listen to us now,
Listen to us now.
right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses and punishment, destruction and death
The evil curses and punishment, shuttle of death.
to the heathen that speak against thy prophets,
To the evil that speak against our prophets.
the teachers,
The teachers,
the princes,
the princes,
the priests,
the priests,
the Israelite brothers,
the Israelite
and
brothers,
the school.
and the school.
Send evils and curses and punishment
Said evil curses and punishment
and destruction and death
and destruction and death
to the heathen,
to the heathen.
and shake loose the pockets of the rich of Israel.
Shake loose the pockets of the riches of
They refuse to give to the school.
that refuse to give to the school.
What's their riches to enter into thy sanctuary?
Force their rich to enter to thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses
Send evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
punishment and destruction.
and death to the Edomites
Death to the
and the
Edomites
nations
and the nations
and the drug dealers,
and the drug
the
dealers,
court system,
the court system,
prison system,
prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
the Pope,
the Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
skinheads,
skinhead,
Haza Kamikaze,
House of Power,
the gay movement,
gay movement,
the lesbian movement,
lesbian movement,
spies,
spies,
workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
NASA space programs,
NASA space program,
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines,
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
open up the internet
open up the
and
internet
the airwaves,
and the
the
airways,
cable access channels,
cable access channel,
and the radio channels.
and the radio channel.
Convict the spirit
Convict the spirit
of any of thy people
of any of thy people
that seek to stop us
that seek to stop us,
and bring swift death
bring swift death
to all the heathen
to all the
that
heathen
stand in the way
that stand in the way,
or try to stop us
or that try to stop us
from broadcasting your words
from broadcasting your word
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the terrorists.
Let loose all the terrorists.
Cause them to go to and from
Cause them to go to and from
through the earth
through the earth
and destroy.
and destroy.
Cause the terrorists to come against America
Cause terror to come against America
and destroy them in their strongholds.
and destroy them in their stronghold.
Let America shake at the hands of the terrorists.
Let America shake the hands of the terror.
Let Yahweh Shai,
Let the house shine.
Michael and Gabriel
Mike and Dave
come down with the flying
come
saucers
down with the flying saucers.
and kill all the heathen
Kill all the heathen
that come against us as we speak thy word.
that come against us as we speak that word.
Cause it to be known by all
Cause it to be known by all
that it is the angels that have done it.
that there is angels that have done it.
Cause it to spread through the media
Cause it to spread through the media
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake it that coming.
In the name of Yahweh Shai,
In the name of Yahweh Shai,
thank you, so be it.
thank you. So be it.
We get one courteous salute from Israel. Mighty Sabbath, Majah, Barak, Yahweh, Bashir, Shai, Barak Thumb. Star turn face the sisters. We give us a certain courteous salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Mighty Sabbath, Majah, Barak, Shalom Yahweh Shemar Thamba. Amen. Shalom Yahweh Athah Bashim Shai.
Shalom Yahweh Mash. Shalom Yahweh Shemor and Thon by Shem Yahweh Shai.
Time class dismissed.
That's it.